Hello, guys. What's up? So, I watched finally Kantara yesterday. I I actually as soon as it got released, I believe I started like watching reviews of it on YouTube, and like I've been like dying to watch the movie since then. Almost 2-3 weeks back. Um, Finally, I was planning it last week itself, but I managed to watch it only yesterday. So it's a very interesting movie, and I like enough has already been said about this movie, but by many different YouTube reviewers. I believe if you're watching this video, you probably must have seen already like at least 10 or 15 reviews of it. So it's nothing. What do you call that? Nothing to dislike about the movie. It's a very interesting movie, but I particularly liked it because it's something very fresh, and it's a very unique story that's is the first of its kind that I watched in any language, I would say. So I'll start with KGF. So if you guys have seen my KGF reaction video, honestly, I didn't like it much. So if you had seen that video, you probably would have gotten an impression that okay, I'm just hating on it because I'm a non-Kannadiga, or maybe I'm a Tamil, because of that I'm hating on it, or it's possible some of you got such an impression, but honestly, I honestly I don't like. I like watching such commercial movies, but I'm not like just for time pass, but not like I'm not a huge fan of such movies. Of course, you need as in I do I've grown up watching the commercial typical masala kind of movies, like since I was young. I'm from Chennai, but like it like Kollywood makes all kinds of movies, but I thought it wasn't like it was a bit overrated. Um, Basically because it's not my kind of genre, not my kind of. It's not. I'm not saying that I didn't like it. It was okay, but it wasn't like as good as it was. Hyped. You know what I mean? But this one, I loved it. So this is the kind of movie that I prefer watching, and I want more industries, more movie industries, more South Indian, North Indian, Eastern, Western movie industries to make more of this. Because see, one what is the right word in English? One thing that it's like India is uh, such a diverse mm, country, right? You have so many cultures and traditions. Small, every village has its own tradition, right? If we can make one movie out of each tradition, we can make like thousands of such interesting movies. But instead of that, what we are doing, we have been stuck with the formula, typical, 5 song, commercial formula, the typical Indian commercial formula is what I'm referring to, which is fine, but when you have so much of content around you and you still keep making such um, boring content, right? What can I say? We we are just um, it's like, so it's like there's a proverb in Tamil where say um, கரும்பு தின்ன கூலி something like, so it's like asking money to eat sugarcane. So what I am trying to say is we are missing out on so many interesting stories waiting to be told and made as movies. You know what I mean? Like, see, I don't even know the guys, Rishabh Shetty. Now he's popular. Now he's almost like probably the second or third most popular Kannada actor all over India. Everybody now knows Rishabh Shetty. I think his original name is Prashant Shetty or something. I watched his interviews on YouTube. He's so fluent in Tamil. I was so surprised. Even Yash is not that fluent. Like Yash, I remember he speaks broken Tamil, but Rishabh speaks like fluent Tamil, and I was really surprised when I saw that. And the more I started watching his interviews, like starting last week, I believe, the more I wanted to watch the movie. I Yeah, what an interesting story. Like starting from the see, okay, I'm going to be talking about a lot of spoilers. So if you have not watched the movie, like stop it, go watch it, and then come back. Um, so starting from the mm, again, it's not going to be like a review. I don't review movies. I just like discuss. I just that's my style. Like I just react to whatever things that I like about the movie or whatever things I find interesting about the movie. So it's not like a review. It's just my things that I found interesting about the movie and why I found interesting and that kind of stuff. I'm more into anthropology and character study and cultural nuances expressed in the movies, artifacts, and that kind of stuff. I'm not that much into the typical kind of review that other people do, like what they talk about the screenplay, story, direction, and I'm not an expert on that either. The the aspect that I'm interested in is the culture, whether it is being true to the culture or the movie that whatever I'm watching, and there'll be certain elements within the culture that will be unique to that culture. Like I'm interested in picking out identifying such important nuances, and because every culture has so many interesting. I mean, just the way we talk and the way we react, even and I was so what do I say? Uh, I realized so much similar with the Tamil culture when I watched the movie. So many small things, like the way the actress does this with her mouth. That's a very typical Tamil village thing. I've seen girls do that in my village. They do that, especially when the girl likes the person, but then it's like what do you call that? It's a very interesting thing. Like I think it's unique to maybe South Indian culture, and some girls even do this. As if they it's like an interesting way of expressing that she's not really happy, but she's happy. it not really. I don't know how to put it in words. It's a cultural thing. It's a nuance. Right? You have to understand. You have to be from that culture in order to understand what I'm saying. So such things, right? Only very few directors bring out such things on, though we are from that culture. So for example, I watched Ponniyin Selvan a couple of weeks back. Couldn't find any such cultural expression in that movie, so that was one big complaint that I had. Though typically that dude, the director, is from, he's Tamil basically. He's probably the best Tamil non-Tamil that I know of in the movie industry. So some people, they're so far into the culture, though they are from the culture. Their movies don't like they don't look relatable at all, like whatsoever, with respect to culture. Such people should stop making culturally relevant movies in the first place. I'm like, go make urban movies, nah? That's your forte. Stop this. Okay, enough of that. Like, this is not about Ponniyin Selvan. So let's come back to this. So there are such interesting cultural expressions that the director has captured, and I think he's from that village based on his interviews. So no wonder he's captured such small things, right? That is why, it should, like, the native person of that land should make movies about that land, so it'll be more real, and it'll be closer to the truth than if anyone else makes that story. And so many things that I could relate as a Tamil, like this buffalo race, and we have our own Jallikattu and whatnot. And even the ritual, right? The Bodhikola ritual, it's a very common. That in fact, there's another Netflix series called Sural. It also has the whole series is centered around such a ritual, like a village ritual. So like watching such movies make us realize, like, so we are so similar culturally. And um, I have not seen many Kannada movies, like, honestly. One or two movies I've seen, like KGF is one. Part one I've seen. Part two I didn't even bother watching, because I didn't, honestly, wasn't that interesting to me. And yeah, I don't even remember. There was another like a ghost movie that I watched, where that involves like a scooter accident, a U-turn or something like that. I think those are the only two Kannada movies that I've seen, and I'm not even sure if such movies are like common in the Kannada industry. But it is so fresh and it's so refreshing to watch such a movie, right? Because think about it, this would be such a new thing, such a refreshing experience to people from other parts of Karnataka. No, sorry, other parts of India. I mean, even other parts of Karnataka for that matter, because like this kind of culture may not be there in other parts of because these small these what do you call that, like these kind of traditions, like the indigenous traditions, like ancestral worship, for example, and such traditions, they're all, I believe, like indigenous to India. And more such movies should be made, at least to create awareness about it, you know what I mean. And honestly, I think this is the right time, like the OTT era and all that. This is the best time to come up with such movies, to make more rooted movies. um, yeah, so such an interesting experience. In fact, I have this friend of mine who's a Kannadiga. Like, I asked him whether he watched me. Like, he said no. Like, and then I like, dude, what are you talking about? It's so popular, so very like it is running really successfully. You have to go and watch. And then I think because of me, he booked a show tomorrow. Today is Monday, right? Tomorrow, which is 18th of October, along with the family. So what else can I say? So okay, let's talk more about the movie. I actually want to yeah, there's another interesting aspect where the guy, right, the Rishabh Shetty, the very first encounter with the actress, like pinches her waist. I think that kind of it's that particular scene is causing some kind of not controversy, as in people are talking about it as if it's not a civil thing to do, or the far left wingers, the typical educated youth, and the left wing reviewers and whatnot. I'll make another video about that. It's a very, very, very interesting thing. It's like something that's like custom made for my YouTube channel, I would say. But this is I'll cut it short in this video, because that's going to be lengthy. I'll address that in a different video. So these kind of things is part and parcel of the courtship in villages. So I think the urban population in India should try and understand and respect the way uh, traditionally how people do things, rather than be mm, what do you call that, like sarcastic, and be judgmental about it. That's all I'll say, like in this video, about that particular scene. I love the scene. Like even in that scene, if you notice, the very next scene, she'll bring her dad to for some reason, and then she does this, right. So only if you understand what that means, you'll be able to understand whether she liked that pinch or not. Like, s- I won't go any more on that scene in this video. Now let's. So the very first, like after watching the movie, I thought I missed why the movie was called like Kantara. Now I was just searching about it just now, and then I realized like it's a mystical. See, I watched in Kannada, and then like I had to switch back and forth between the subtitles and the scene. Like it was a bit difficult, but I somehow, like, I managed to like understand pretty much the whole, even the movie. The whole movie is funny. Like the whole story, the movie, it's not like a typical Indian movie kind of funny. Like you'll have a separate comedian, and they'll have heel crack jokes, and so everybody in the movie, all characters in the movie, they add something to add humor to the movie. You know what I mean? It's basically sarcasm, how villagers talk in the day-to-day lives and pull each other's legs, and it's a very natural. It's so it is so natural. Like what do you call that, like every scene, right, they didn't look fake at all, so it was so real. And so it was funny, like every once in a while, like there'll be some something or the other to make you laugh, you know what I mean. um and the boar hunting and whatnot, that is another, like, actually that reminded me of this movie Apocalypto, the opening scene and everything. And and this whole the ritual, right, the Bhutakola ritual, uh, the final scene. Oh my god, the acting of that guy, the Rishabh Shetty, amazing. What an actor. I actually felt like almost it's like watching a real Bodukola performance. I didn't feel like he was acting at all. Like his the whole scene was like as if watching some kind of cartoon or animated series. The way he was like making that noise and then acting and everything, it was very nice. So Kantara apparently means mystical forest. So Rishabh Shetty is the dude. Yeah. So his original name is Prashant Shetty. Mm. See, the movie has emerged as one of the highest grossing Kannada films. So this actually happens in like Udupi, Mangalore region, I believe. Because I don't know the and the village. Oh, what a beautiful location, man! Oh my God, this is a beautiful. I'm not sure if this is where they shot. It's such a beautiful location. I think it's full of guards, isn't it? The Western guards on that side of the coast. And I like the actress. Oh my God, she's so sexy. Saptami Gowda. I think that's probably her name. I don't know. Nobody seemed like out of place. You know what I mean? I've mentioned this in many of my previous videos. Like in some of the Tamil movies, right? Like there would be really good directors making like almost realistic movies, but then the heroine, the actors would be unusually fair compared to the other actors in the movie. That has always been one of my complaints about like some of the movies that like whereas in this movie like nobody was like out of place, everybody looked like proper, like the casting was beautiful. That's what I'm trying to say, beautiful casting, everybody um, um, like fit in to the character really well. And I'm actually looking at what do you call it? This Botokola thing, right? Where is that? Where did it go? Okay, Shetty. Songs. I'm not sure if I. The music was good. Like the background music was nice. It was very interesting actually. But songs, I'm not sure if I don't recall any particular song that I particularly liked in this movie, but the background music in general was very nice. And where is that Budukola man? Okay, yeah, Budukola, right? This one. Just looking at it. So this this actually is the ornament that they wear apparently. Look at this. Oh my God. Dancer's headpiece in form of Panjurli, boar spirit deity. So all of our traditions, right, in India, the indigenous, the ancient traditions, like they are all some form of what do you call it, whatever we respect, we start idolizing it and worshiping it, isn't it? So in Tamil Nadu there's this practice called the ancestral worship, like we worship, like not we as in me. There are villages where people worship their ancestors. So this one is common in Tulunadu and some parts of coastal Karnataka, northern Kerala. The whole region is such a beautiful region. In fact, I'm planning to go to Wayanad when I go to India. Such a beautiful place. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Look at this. This is like proper actual photo of this Bulagula performance. Like almost wow. See how big the head. Where is it? Yeah, this thing. It's almost three times as big as the 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 performer. But wonder why there are snakes drawn on this. I'm not sure What's the significance of that? It's an interesting thing. Budukula is closely, wait a minute, is related to Theyyam from neighboring Malayalam speaking. Okay. Theyyam is Kathakali, isn't it? Or is it different one? Ritual form of dance worshiping. Okay, 1,000-year-old traditions. Yeah, wow, that's really old. Channel to the Sikh version of them. Okay, is Theyyam and Kathakali the same thing, or it's Neolithic? Oh my goodness. Very ancient traditions. What we have in southern India. That's the most interesting part. Look at this. See, where even the followers of Islam are associated with it, with the cult in its functional aspect. So that's another beautiful aspect of these festivals in the southern part of India, right? These festivals are cultural; they are not religious festivals. Like so, irrespective of whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or whoever you are, you participate in this ritual, you celebrate this ritual, just like Onam, right? It's a cultural festival. It does not, like, irrespective of which religion you belong to, you like you'll be celebrating Onam, isn't it? I know this because I attended a Onam function here in Sydney, and it was my Christian friend who took me there. So besides the practices like spiritual worship, the ancestor worship, hero worship, Masati worship, tree worship, animal worship, goddesses of diseases, go the mainstream of them. Okay, along these gods and goddesses, innumerable folks and gods are known as Bhagavati. Okay, different branches of mainstream Hindu religion such as Shaktism, Vaishnavism, Shaivism now dominate them. However, the forms of propitiation rituals are continuations of a very ancient tradition. In several cult centers, blood offering is seen despite being forbidden in Buddhism, Jainism, and Brahmanism. Such centers separate places outside the precincts of the shrine select for blood offering and for the preparation of the traditional kalam. Sacrifice occasion known as Vadakan Vatil. Cock sacrifice will not enter such shrines. Okay, cockfight or blood sacrifice. The cockfight as a blood sacrifice. Okay, there's a scene where cockfight. They show the cockfight, I believe, in when the ritual happens. But I didn't understand it. Like I thought that was like just a game that they play. I'm not sure. Like if I recall correctly, they actually show a cock. What do you call that? Offering sacrifice in the movie, but uh, like the reason that they have that scene in the movie is probably just to show that these two things like associated to one another. Okay. All other categories can be classified under Shaivism. Deep. One of the supposedly late revival of the Vaishnavism movement in Kerala, it does not have a deep impact on them. Only a few religions are available under this category. Two major them religions of Vaishnavism. Daivatara was very popular in the Tulwa region of the 3rd century when he came under the rule of Vishnuvatana. Okay. I believe it was initially deified as Vishnu. Okay. It's a very interesting thing to do more research on, actually. So the dance or invocation is generally performed in front of the village shrine. It is also performed in the houses as ancestor worship with elaborate rites and rituals. There's no current other arrangements, so the devotees would be standing, or some of them would be sitting on a sacred tree in front of the shrine. In short, it's an open theater. Okay, performance of particular deity according to its situation and hierarchy. The shrine continues for 12 to 24 hours with intervals. Okay. Hmm. What exactly does this word mean? Propitiates. Who propitiates? Okay, let's check. Win or regain the favor of a god, spirit, or person by doing something that pleases. Ah, okay. Oh, that's such an interesting word, man, that I learned today. Propitiate. Okay. Further, after the sun sets, this particular dancer would not eat anything for the remainder of that day. His makeup is done by specialists in other dances. First part are usually known as Velatam or Tottam. Velatam. Okay, Velatam. Okay, not sure if it's Velatam or Velatam. The proper it's performed without proper makeup or any decorative costume. Only a small red headdress is worn on this occasion. Okay. Let's see. So let's get back to Budakola. Look at this. According to some, okay, so types of Daivas. There's so many different Daivas. Deva means God, and in Tamil, I think it probably is the same in Kannada as well. Chumari is a smallpox goddess. Mari, okay, the Buddhas are supposed to belong to different castes, okay. Okubalala and Devanagiri are giants. Oh, okay. Bunts. So, Mapile, Nicha, Koraga, Sri, and Koti, Chennai. Koti, Chennai. Wow. Okay, enough of browsing on Wikipedia. So there, yeah. What else can I say? It's a very interesting movie. If you have not seen it, go watch it. Uh, I mean, I couldn't find any flaws. There's one very interesting scene, like where, like towards the end of the towards climax, just before the climax, right? Actually, I kind of expected it because in the start of the movie they show the Botukula ritual dance, right? And I knew, I kind of expected, okay, the climax would be like, the hero performing the Bodokola dance and probably taking revenge. Like, I knew about it. Like, I kind of waiting for that. I was waiting for it. But before that, there's an interesting scene where he kind of there's another dude in the movie who pretty much smokes ganja all the time, and then so he goes to him and then starts smoking ganja. And there's a fight scene or in that area in that in his place, like. and it's as if the scene is shot in such a way it's some kind of like you experience some kind of hallucination. You you are experiencing the high, like you probably smoking weed yourself, and then what do you call that, like it's a very interesting scene, the way it is shot and everything. uh, yeah, that it's a fun movie to watch. Basically, it's not boring at all. One complaint that I have, like if I have to say a complaint, I think the movie is a bit too loud in certain scenes. That's what I've noticed, and there was no need for it because the scenes are beautifully directed. Anyway, you don't need an additional music to kind of accentuate the scene. You know what I mean? It could have been a bit subtler. The background music is what I'm trying to say. That way, I don't know if some of you probably would disagree with what I'm saying, but it's just my personal thing. But that's not a big complaint anyway. It's just that I found it to be a bit more a bit too loud and a bit too noisy at times. That's my only complaint. Apart from that, like starting from the starting minute till the ending minute, like I loved every minute of the movie, and I hope more such movies, more such um, um, stories are made into movies. Not just in Kannada, like in all languages, because we are such a diverse bunch of people with such diverse cultures and traditions, especially in the south of India, is what I'm trying to say. The north, I'm not sure. They probably if they still have the traditions, but I think the South Indian traditions are much more ancient, is what I'm trying to say, and we still have lots and lots of hundreds and thousands of interesting stories to be waiting to be discovered and made into movies. So I hope more upcoming directors start going back to the roots, dig deeper, and then come up with interesting content like this, uh, that would take Indian cinema to another level. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with that, I'll stop this video. I think it's been lengthy. Oh, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Bye bye.